You are not a robot. You can't remember everything. I know sometimes you think you can, but you can't. And the most successful agents are the ones that can time block correctly and follow the schedule that they time block in. I know you're great. You're fabulous. You can do it better than anybody else. I believe you. Well, I'm no good because I didn't have a good day, or I watched TV instead of working on real estate. Take that time, reset, and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the morning. Hey everyone! It's me, Monica Dunlap, broker owner of Totally About Houses, and today we're diving in to time-saving tips for agents. So grab your pen, grab your paper, hit the like and subscribe button, and let's talk about some time-saving tips that every agent needs to know. You don't want to miss this. So whether you're a brand new agent or an experienced agent, it doesn't matter. These are tips for everyone because let's face it, time is money. And you know, we always feel there's never enough time in the day. So let's jump into these time-saving tips so you can optimize your schedule. And you know what that means? Optimizing your pocketbook, making more money, selling more deals, and living the good life, right? That's why we got into real estate, right? To live the good life. So enough of that, let's talk about the tips. So tip number one, automate those repetitive tasks. You are not a robot. You can't remember everything. I know sometimes you think you can, but you can't. So you need to have systems in place to help you, such as a great CRM. Do you know what a CRM is? Well, that's a customer relationship management tool, and if you don't have one, you're missing out. So get one immediately. That's like Follow Up Boss. That's probably one of the best CRMs out there. You've got Chime and Lofty and Perfect Storm. There's some other ones, and again, any one is a good one as long as you use it. But I recommend Follow Up Boss. And also Canva. You're a real estate agent. You got to be a marketing pro. So I definitely recommend Canva. You can have a free account. You don't have to pay for it. You can upgrade for some extra benefits. Recommend that as you get busier, but you got to market yourself correctly, have a Canva account. You can have automatic postings from that as well. That's going to automate your time also. And that Follow Up Boss or CRM is going to make sure to keep you on schedule. So you'll never miss a birthday. You'll never miss, you want to call your clients at least once a quarter. The ones that you're working with now needs to be once a week, okay? But at least once a quarter. That is going to automate it for you, so you don't have to think about it. It's going to be there. Your clients will feel like you're never forgetting them, which is an amazing feeling. They're like, wow, Monica's really good. She never forgets a birthday. She never forgets my home anniversary. You know, she sees houses before I do. That's where you want to go, but you know what does that? A great CRM. So make sure you get one, okay? And next, time block your schedule like your commission depends on it. Because you know what? It absolutely does. And the most successful agents are the ones that can time block correctly and follow the schedule that they time block in. Because I see it all the time. I see an agent, hey, I'm gonna set my schedule up. I'm gonna 8 o'clock do this, 9 o'clock do this, 10 o'clock do this, 11 o'clock do this, so on and so forth. And they have this beautiful plan. It's great. You know, we put it on a nice, on the wall. They look at it every day, but you know what? They don't follow it. And you know why? Because they let something else get in the way. They let a client call at 9 when they're supposed to be lead generating because this client has a big problem. Maybe their inspection, something happened on their inspection. You know what? It's not an emergency. You have to learn to not answer the phone during that time that you time blocked for lead generation and lead generate. Because that's that time where you're building future clients, not taking care of the current ones. Now you've got to take great care of your clients, absolutely. However, that client will be there when you're done lead generating, I promise, and you'll be able to take care of them ASAP, okay? When your lead generation time is over, but you have to make sure you are time blocking your schedule to set yourself up for success, okay? Because again, your commission does depend on that, and the best agents time block. I'm going to put another plug in for Ninja Selling. It's a great book that'll teach you how to do that. And it always says you want to work on your business in the morning and in it in the afternoon. And if you never get the time to work on your business, I'm telling you, you're not going to work in the business, or you're not going to work in it as much as you want to and make the money and commission that you want to. All right. All right. Tip number 3, stop trying to do everything yourself. I know you're great. You're fabulous. You can do it better than anybody else. I believe you. But the thing is, as you get busier and busier, you're not going to have the time to do it. And if you don't learn to delegate and you don't learn to say no to things, you're not going to ever reach your full potential, and you'll start plateauing. You'll start seeing your income go up and up and up, and then when you get to that level, it's going to plateau because you cannot do everything yourself. So what you need to do is you need to start delegating. I delegated earlier in. I delegated even before I had a lot of business, because you know what? I knew that somebody else can also help me. So one of my first hires was an assistant, and it wasn't a contract to close yet because I didn't have enough contracts to do contract to close. But it was an assistant that was going to keep me on time and organized, and also they can help lead generate for me. They can help write note cards. That's another big one too. Note cards, big note card writer. Write 2 a day, okay? Ninja Selling will teach you more about that, but again, you have to delegate. You can leverage yourself and your real estate if you delegate. All right, so don't be afraid to do that. And when you do get busy, or when you get a couple contracts, hire a contract to close coordinator. You can hire one that just works one-offs. You don't have to pay somebody full-time to do it. There are plenty of people out there that'll do it for a fee. I think $500, and every state's different. And it could be even a little bit less depending on your state, but and your area and the availability of who's there. But hire that contract to close person, because you know what that does? That allows you now to work on getting more clients, work on lead generating, work on growing your business, versus the contract to close side, which is, it's already client under contract. Now you're still going to communicate with your client. We're not going to forget them. We want to give great service, right? That's important. That's important to a real estate agent for referrals and recommendations, and just for yourself and your personal standards. But that contract to close person can spend their time calling lenders, calling title companies, coordinating everything, while you're over here and you're getting more clients. That's how you stop that roller coaster that I've talked about in previous videos as well. All right, so you've got to make sure to delegate those things, even if you're newer and you only have a couple contracts, because again, you're working at this point building your business. And if you're busy and you don't have a contract to close coordinator, shame on you. I'm sorry. That's another one you should have. If you're getting consistently 3 or 4 a month with contracts, you should have a contract to close coordinator helping you so you can continually grow your business, unless you don't want to. Absolutely fine. If you're good at the level that you are, that's fine. But if you want to grow and take it to the next level, that's where you need to hire and delegate, and also learn to say no. You're going to have a lot of people ask you like, hey, can you do this, or can you do this thing? It's okay to say no if it doesn't align with your business, okay? Learn to do that. And again, stop trying to do everything yourself. All right. Tip number 4, you want to have a strong morning and evening routine. That is so important. You want to make sure you start yourself off on the right foot. I know I have a strong morning routine. That just gets your day going, puts you in the right mindset so you can be consistent, you can be positive and ready to hit the ground running. And then at the evening as well, because if you don't have a strong evening routine, you're probably not getting enough sleep or going to bed on time, and that's going to throw your whole morning out of whack. And I see a lot of real estate agents struggle with that. And when they don't have a strong morning and evening routine, they're not spending time really working on their business during the day with real estate, because they're all off kilter, okay? And they don't have that. So that kind of sets your day off right. So wake up early. Successful agents wake up early, do your gratitude. I like to do some yoga. You don't have to, but I like to get my exercise in, do yoga. I have my morning coffee, and I'm up and in the office by 8:30 in the morning. in the afternoon, evening. I've got boys. You probably maybe see them behind me, maybe not. But I've got boys, so we're doing sports, we're doing a lot, and if you don't coordinate all that, it's going to be very hard to fit in real estate with your family. And family time is so important. And you may not have children, you may have pets, or just time for yourself. And if you don't set that time for your family, for your pets, for yourself, you're going to get burnt out very quickly. So it's very important that you set yourself a really good evening routine as well, so you can at the end of the night go through your day, see if it was a successful day, make any changes if it wasn't. If you didn't do what you need to, that's okay. You can't dwell on it. You can't say, well, I'm no good because I didn't have a good day, or I watched TV instead of working on real estate. Take that time, reset, and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the morning. You've got to make sure you take about 15 minutes every evening to go through your day, go through the wins, go through the opportunities and how you can improve them, and that's how you're going to get better. If you don't slow down to do that, you're going to keep going in this vicious cycle and nothing will ever change, and you probably won't see your business change for the positive either. So really, really important. And the last tip I have is audit yourself weekly. So every Friday, I like to, for at least 15 minutes, kind of go through and say, is there anything that I need to start doing, to stop doing, or continue to do based upon the week? Was I successful in something? Well, let me continue to do something different this week that really elevated my success. It got me another client. It helped me get to the closing table. Well, I need to start doing that. Or is there something that I just spent 3 hours on that didn't do anything? And you'll find that happens a lot. There's little things in real estate that just kind of derail you, and you have to stop doing that. Maybe you didn't say no to somebody. You spent 3 hours on something that just didn't help your business and really wasn't overall beneficial. Probably don't need to continue doing that. So that's where you really want to stop for a minute, take that 15 minutes on Fridays, and hey, is there anything I need to change? What can I do better? And then look at your goals. Goal setting is so important. You've got to make sure you have goals, and then did you meet those goals? Set weekly goals for yourself. So, and set monthly goals and yearly goals and work backwards. So for example, you say you want to sell $5 million in real estate this year, okay? You got to break it down. What does that look like every single week? That's about $416,000 a week if you do the math, right? So with that, it's like I need to get pending contracts, but $416,000 a month. So if you break that down weekly, that's about $100,000 a week. That's it. So if you get a contract for $200,000, you're almost halfway there of your monthly goal. And because $5 million to somebody that's done nothing can be very overwhelming. But if you break down that goal and you just break it down to smaller and smaller chunks, it's attainable. And here's the thing, on that Friday when you're doing that audit, if you didn't have a contract, you gotta look back and say, why? Why didn't I have one? Well, how many clients are you working with? Maybe you need to increase the amount of clients. Maybe you need to add more lead generation time, because that's what's gonna do it, is that lead generation time. Or if you look at your schedule for the week and you had lead generation blocked up from 9 to 11 a.m., and if you really look at it, did you lead generate for those 2 hours, or did you get distracted? Did you say, I don't need to do it today? Or did you just do it for 30 minutes, and then for the other hour and a half, you're dealing with the contract that might be a nightmare? So you gotta think about those things and audit yourself and audit to where you're at with your goals. So if you didn't reach your goals, you can look at your schedule for next week and say, hey, maybe I gotta double down on my lead generation time and actually do it, so you can make up that time and make up that goal. So the following Friday, you can look back and say, wow, I crushed it. And that's what you want to do every week. I definitely recommend it, because if you're not doing that, you might be missing out, and you're probably missing out on that paycheck. So again, I hope this has helped. These are time-saving tips for agents. If you have any questions, need anything, call me, send me a message anytime. I'm Monica Dunlap. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, and I hope to see you out there in the field. We'll see you.